How do you see the current state of Poland's strategic alliances? I am asking because, in my opinion, today's wobbly attitude of the US makes NATO somehow different to what it used to be.
Yes, of course, now the situation is new, but the base is very important because for the last 30 years, 35 years, we changed our position because at the beginning of transformation, we are in the Eastern Bloc, and now Poland is a member of NATO and member of European Union, and now it's a pillar of our security. And very important is relation not only to US but also to European alliance because we are in Europe, and our relation to European country is very important for our security and also for our economic development perspective.
Would you agree that if it wasn't for Poland's entry into the European Union and NATO, today the country would be in the position of Belarus or Ukraine, either fully controlled by Russia or defending itself against Moscow's military aggression?
Today it's a very difficult situation because after the full aggression Russia to Ukraine, it changed the world order and geopolitics because the last 30-35 years that the time of peace and time of globalization, global cooperation after the pandemic of COVID and after the full-scale aggression Russia to Ukraine, the world order changed, and now we come back to the regionalization and the rivalization of West and East, and now we wait for the final discussion about peace. It's very important for Poland, but also very important for global order because maybe US think and dream about the different Kissinger approach and create cooperation between US and Russia against China. And it's an open question how it's go in the future.
Staying on the topic, in his recent speech in Prague, President Nawrocki said that the EU should not compete with NATO, scrap the matters of security and focus solely on business cooperation between the member states. Would you agree with this statement or rather oppose it?
I think that many European Union countries is also important member of NATO, and in this context I think it's real brotherhood, and very important if we discuss the future of European Union is from one hand respect for culture, for tradition, and in this area we not need fast change, but in the area of economy we need dynamic development. We need, for example, common regulation for technical aspect of economy, for capital regulation to create one single market connecting 500 million citizens, and it's create better position for business in Poland and in European Union, because if we have the same regulation on the technical level, we can create better potential of European corporation, European entrepreneurs, and of course process of changing European Union is very important, but especially in the area of economy.
We are speaking at the Polish Business Power Conference, so how would you rate today's Polish business power in the current global context?
Very important is that the process of transformation, which was beginning at 1989, it's a relatively very successful example of transformation process around the world. And we can be proud of this effect because many countries at that time have completely different situation. And I think thanks for our common approach, common cooperation at the beginning of 90s. Now we are the member of NATO and European Union, and it's a solid base for thinking about our future. Polish business is very dynamic, very smart, and we have many success in specific areas. I remember discussion with Vice President of Intel, Richard Malinowski, who was born in Poland, in Gdańsk, and when I asked him after the financial crisis how Poles working in a global corporation, he said that Poles have very good balance between inclination to creative cross-bordering and respect to order. And I think this dynamic of our characters is very important and very good, especially in crisis time and dynamic change.
So what are the biggest strengths of Poland's business and industry today, apart from what you mentioned? And what would you say are the biggest problems the Polish economy is facing right now or might face in near future?
I think that in Poland we must dynamically continue and develop the process of deregulation to create more effective regulation. From one hand, lowest barrier for business, from the other hand, strong barriers for unfair competition. And the process of deregulation must continue and dynamically develop in Poland to help our entrepreneurs to be more competitive around Europe, around the world.
And the dangers Polish economy and industry is currently facing, what would you say the biggest ones are?
You know, the dangers is not only our specific, because the war on Ukraine and full-scale aggression Russia to Ukraine changed the world order and changed the relation. When we remember the experience of pandemic COVID, we look on our supplier line and it's also the problem for business. Now it's new situation and it needs new form of activity, new concept, and I believe that Polish entrepreneurs, Polish business is very open and very smart to dynamically develop our situation.